We examined the gun laws of a dozen countries to show how they compare to New Zealand's new ban on SE. Breaking news: jury acquits white former police officer who shot unarmed black teen in Pittsburgh. More to come. Houston: last week's mosque massacres brings the country in line with such stricter gun law countries as Australia, the United Kingdom, and, to a lesser extent, Canada. At the same time, New Zealand is one of only 3 countries, including the United States and much of Canada, that does not require registration of most firearms other than handguns, a loophole to those who support registration as a key pillar of gun control. The also is not across the board. It's specifically an examination of the gun laws of a dozen. Asia and the Americas shows an equally wide variety of approaches, each tailored to a country's own history and political orientation. The ban on weapons: the approach to gun laws in each country also varies widely depending on whether owning a gun is considered a right or a privilege. Even then, laws do not break cleanly between lax and strict. Many countries have. Panama allows the private possession of semi-automatic assault weapons, according to extracts of Panamanian law. It permits concealed carry and makes the application process for a gun permit simple. Yet the process, look at how some countries deal with guns. Singapore has perhaps the world's strictest gun laws. Ordinary citizen: after an injured 23, Indiana Port Arthur, Tasmania, Australia's government moved quickly to restrict ownership of pump-action shotguns and high-capacity semi-automatic rifles with more than 5 rounds. In buyback probe, under its new president Jair Bolsonaro, Brazil is moving to overhaul its gun laws to expand the number of people who can own them. The people decided only police officers, members of the armed forces, or individuals with written permission from the Home Secretary may legally own a handgun. Individuals either a license is required to own any of 3 categories of guns: non-restricted, restricted, such as certain types of semi-automatic guns, and prohibited, such as automatic weapons, sawed-off shotguns and rifles under a certain length. Licensees must. Civilians are not permitted to have guns and can face life imprisonment for trafficking firearms. Individuals can. Gun control in Japan dates back to the mid-16th century. Under firearm, Norway does not allow concealed or open carry, but with a specific permit allows some people to own semi-automatic rifles. Weapons are individual. Guns play a unique role in Switzerland because of its militia armed forces made up of conscripts or volunteers who are allowed to keep their weapons at home. Once they have completed, the Republic recognizes the right to self-defense more strongly than most countries, even if the right to own a firearms is not constitutionally recognized. Citizens may. The current government is moving to ease restrictions by supporting a legitimate. Finland, where hunting is popular, has the highest per capita gun ownership in the Nordic countries. Handgun license. This article originally appeared on USA Today.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,